Good morning, esteemed sister and students. Myself Supriya stand before you to represent my second topic, that is group health education. As we know that our society contains various groups. It contains group of social workers, it contains group of educators, group of mothers, group of patients, group of nurses, group of doctors, etc. etc. So in the continuation with that, there is also a group of health education. I mean to say that the education which is the health education which is given by a group of person or group of professionals is known as group health education. It can be given anywhere. It can be given in communities, in societies, in workplaces, in clinics, in hospitals, in offices, etc. So, but before understanding about group health education, we should know that what the health education is. So before going in detail about group health education, we'll go for the definition of health education. So let's see that.
Health education is any combination of learning experiences designed to help individuals and communities improve their health by increasing their knowledge or influencing their attitudes.
I've told you earlier that group health education is a type of education which is given by a group of persons regarding to health, and it is given to communities, to people, to sustain their life activities or to promote their health activities. So it was an introduction about group health education. Now we'll go for the definition.
So, the definition of group health education is it is a type of education given by a group of professionals designed for community to gain the knowledge, skills, values, and attitude necessary to maintain, promote, improve, and restore health.
So friends, right now you have seen about the definition of group health education. So like if we are studying any kind of term, it is very necessary that why we are studying that term. I mean, what is the purpose of studying that? So like that only, if we are studying group health education, then it is very necessary to know about the aims, about the purposes, etc. So as I have told you earlier that group health education is useful in promoting lifestyles, it is useful in promoting health activities to the communities, and also like there are various members in a group health education. I mean, it contains a group. So that group can help the individual or it can help the community by giving them labor or by giving them money so that they can get rid of their financial crisis. It also helps to give food or to give about the opportunities to earn money to the community so that they can sustain their life activities or they can promote their life activities to get a proper health. Actually, it was a nutshell introduction about aims of group health education, but it is very important to study in details. So we'll go with the aims in detail.
Aims of group health education are as follows: to encourage people to adopt and sustain health promoting lifestyle and practices, to promote the proper use of health services available to them, to arouse to provide new knowledge, improve skills, and change attitudes in making rational decisions to solve their own problems, to stimulate individual and community self-reliance and participation to achieve health development through individual and community involvement at every step from identifying problems to solving them.
Education has made few criteria which are to be followed in every kind of education system. So it happens in the group health education also. Actually, there are three criteria which are needed to be followed while giving a type of group health education. So we'll look after that three criteria. The first one is that the group of members should not be less than 20 to 25 members. Mean it should be exceeded than 20 to 25 members. So this was the first criteria. The second one is it is based on the principle that the group of persons should think, discuss, and then they should follow their decision in their actions. Now the third criteria is the choice of subject. Actually, the subject which they are choosing, it should be thoroughly known by all the group members, and it should be based on their interest. So these were the three criteria which should be followed in group health education. Right now we have seen about the definition, we have seen about the aims, we have seen about the criteria also. So actually there are various types of group health education. Group health education can be given in different methods, but there are few methods which are very basic, so we will study in detail about them. Now let's have a look.
Basically, there are three methods of group health education. First is lecture, then demonstration, and then discussion method.
The very first type of group health education is a lecture method. Lecture method is also known as chalk and talk method. It can be given by forming a group, and it can be given by using chalk and board. So we will study in detail about the lecture method. Let's have a look.
Lecture method is a carefully prepared oral presentation, basically based on facts, organized thought and ideas, done by a qualified person, and it should have an opening statement. Group should not exceed than 30 people, and the duration of talk should not exceed 15 to 20 minutes. It should be based on the topic of current interest, and its effectiveness depend on the ability of speaker to write and draw legibly.
So our next method is demonstration method. Actually, we know that showing is more effective than telling. So we are going to follow that criteria in this method. Actually, people are interested towards any kind of demonstration, or they are actually took their interest when the things are going to be demonstrated in front of them. If we continuously talking in front of them, the people will get bored and they will not took any kind of attention, or they will not took any kind of interest in our lectures. So demonstration method is a very helpful and very interesting method. So we will study in detail about demonstration method.
Method has a high educational value and motivational value. It mainly focuses on environmental sanitation, mother-child health care. Through this, people can teach how to prepare our oral rehydration therapy, and then it also focuses on to get prevention from various communicable diseases.
So our last method is discussion method. What happened in that, the group of person they sit together and then they discuss about the problems and about their solutions. They discuss how to sustain or how to promote the life activities of communities. It is given in it is done in a panel, or it can be done in a group. So we will look in detail about the discussion method.
Various discussion methods are as follows: group discussion, panel discussion, symposium, workshop, conferences, seminars, role play, brainstorming, colloquy, campaign, focus group discussion, and Delphi method.
So the very first type of discussion method is group discussion. What happens in that, group is actually an aggregation of people interacting in face-to-face situation. It is more effective method of health communication than any other method, and then it provides a wider interaction among the members according or in comparison of any other kind of method. So it provides a wider opportunity to interact among the members of that same group.
Discussion include 6 to 20 members, and it is a method of teaching through direct share of knowledge. There are 3 members required in group discussion: leader, recorder, and general members. Leader is the expert of topic who hold that group discussion, and recorder records the agreement, disagreement, decisions, discussions, etc. And general members who are actively participated in the group discussion.
Next method is panel discussion. Actually, panel discussion is a group of few people. It doesn't contain more than 8 peoples. So it is a group that they sit and talk together, and they discuss about the problem in front of a large audience, and then there spontaneously they discuss about the problem, and then they come to a result. So we will study about the criteria of panel discussion. Let's have a look on that.
A panel discussion include 4 to 10 panelists. They all sit in a semicircle in front of the audience. It includes 2 members, instructor and moderator. Instructor is responsible for the management of panel discussion, and moderator keeps the discussion on theme, and moderator also summarizes and highlights the discussion.
Next type is symposium. So symposium is actually a series of speeches. It is given by experts, or it is given by various persons, and the subject should be same. And then at the end of completion of all the experts, there is a chairperson who summarizes the topic or who summarizes the subject, so that the audience can understand it in a better way.
It is an educational method which serves as excellent device for crystallizing opinion. It includes basically 3 members, that is speaker, chairperson, and audience. Speaker present the representation, and chairperson who holds the symposium, audience who listen about the presentation.
Next type is workshop. Workshop consists of a series of meetings, usually more than four, and it emphasizes on individual work within the group with the help of consultant.
Workshop include 15 to 20 participants. It includes three type of members: chairperson, organizer, and expert. Chairperson encourage the participant to take active part in the session. Organizer highlight the objective of session, and expert express their opinion and provide necessary information regarding to the session.
So next type of discussion method is role playing. We know that role playing is a kind of most interested type of education which is given in any field. Actually, people took more interest when something is shown to them in a dramatized form. So this happens in role play also. Actually, the group dramatize the whole situation and then they show it off in front of audience.
Role play should be very flexible and it should never be rehearsed. Analysis and evaluation is very necessary in any kind of role play, and the role play should not be very time consuming. It should be brief.
So our next type is seminars. Seminars are actually this. It is also a group. The people who group collect at one place, or they gather at one place for studying under the guidance of any of the expert or learned persons.
Seminars are normally identified with learning institution and they are done under the supervision of experts.
So our next type is conference. Conference actually it consists of a group of persons representing several organization departments and several point of views within an organization that exhibit a common interest, and then they represent the two or more faces of their problems, and then they come to a result.
There are 2 to 50 members in a conference. They discuss mature problems and the phases of problem presented by cooperative or hostile groups.
So our next type is brainstorming. Actually, it is a small group interaction to encourage the free introduction on the basis of restriction without any kind of limitations. The judgment in this kind of group discussion are taken at the last, and all the ideas are evaluated, sorted, and then they adopted.
It is a good way of getting bright idea. These ideas are listed exactly as expressed on the board or a flip chart or written on a bits of paper.
Our next method is colloquy. What happens in colloquy? Actually, colloquy is a modified form of panel discussion. In this type of discussion, 3-4 people taken from the audience, they are grouped together, and 3-4 people taken from the expert, they are also grouped together. Now the group of audience, they arise their problem or they arise a situation, and the group of expert comments on it, and the group of experts comments on various aspects of that problem.
Colloquy is an informal method of discourse. The panel members are selected from audience. General members and panel members can participate under the supervision of moderator.
Our next type is campaign. Campaign is also effective teaching. It is taken for a very short period, or we can say taken for a very brief period. And what happens in that, they focusing attention in a concerted manner towards a particular problem. With the help of this, they arises the possibility of interest in the community.
Campaign method can be used only after advocated practice and is found acceptable to the local people through method or result demonstration.
Now our next method is FGD, also known as focus group discussion. What happened in that? Actually, it is a group of small people. They talk and they discuss freely and spontaneously in any kind of problem. As the name suggests, focus, like they focus at a problem and then they go in detail. They took all the information and they discuss about that problem.
There are 6 to 20 members in focus group discussion method and are guided by facilitator. This is a form of qualitative research in which a group of people asked about their perception, opinion, belief and attitude towards any kind of product, service or concept, etc.
Now our next method is Delphi technique. Delphi technique is a group of experts. It contains two or more than two rounds in which the experts questioning and answering, and they give justification for their answers, that if they said this answer to that question, then why they have given that answer. So they justify that, and in between the changes of routes can give them opportunities to think about the answers, and to discuss about the elaboration of answers. And as I have told you that it contains a group of experts. So for understanding it in detail, we will go with the definition and introduction of Delphi technique. So let's have a look. Now let's see a flowchart to understand Delphi technique in a better way.
So firstly, a panel of experts selected, then a questionnaire of open-ended question created, and then the expert compile or summarizes the responses into a written report. After compiling or summarizing, the experts give their reason of agreeing and disagreeing with the report, whether they are agree with the reason or not, and then this step repeated for 3-4 times until they reached a final result.
So here I have ended with all the methods of group discussion, and here I have also ended with the method of group health education. Now it is very necessary to know about the advantages and disadvantages of group health education. That if we are giving any kind of group health education to any community, then we should know that why we are giving this, what is the purpose of giving that health education, what are the advantages of giving that health education. So we'll study in detail about the advantages and disadvantages.
Advantages of group health education are as follows. Group health education is a very intensive and systematic type of education. It is a two-way communication, means it involves the participation of both listener and speaker. The result can be evaluated quickly in this type of education, and it develops creativity, confidence, and judgment ability. It involves active learning, hence it helps individual to become an active learner, provide adequate communication between the both speaker and listener. And usually what happens in group health education, it focus on attention and interest. So it's interesting and attention seeking, and it involves a teaching learning process. Disadvantages of group health education are as follows. Group health education takes a long time, so prolonged discussion can be there, and there are so many people in a group, so lack of interest can also be there, and it may be monotonous or it may be boring. Self-conscious group member may have a fear of disapproval of idea. It is also very difficult to cover wide range of people at one time. It's also difficult to get appropriate expert in a group health education. It also involves lack of participation, as there are so many members in a group, and it is very time consuming, and it also consumes lots of money and material.
So here I have ended with all the terms. Now we will move to the conclusion. In the starting, we studied about the definition of health education, that is a combination of learning experiences given to the communities to promote their life activities. Then we studied about the term group health education. We studied about its definition, that it is a group health education is a kind of education given by a group so that they can help the community in the health crisis. They teach the community how to sustain their life activities. Then we studied about the aims of group health education. Then we moved to the types of group health education or the method of group health education, that there were three methods: discussion method, lecture method, and demonstration method. In lecture method, we studied that it is also known as chalk and talk method. It is given on with the help of board and chalk. Then we studied about the demonstration method. In that method, the problems are demonstrated in front of the committee so that they can understand it well. Then we studied about the discussion method. Discussion method also includes a few types of methods like symposium, workshop, role plays, group discussion, panel discussion, call key, and then Delphi technique, etc. Then we have completed all. After completing all the methods, we move to the advantages and disadvantages of group health education. So now here's the assignment for you. As you know that world has taken by a pandemic coronavirus, so you have to give a short group health education in a community. For that, criteria of marks will be 5 marks of presentation, 3 marks of expressing your ideas, and 2 marks will be the interaction among the group members. So I hope you'll go with the assignment. Thank you and have a nice day.